Chapter 1. Amelia Ravenscroft sat shivering on a small bench in the furthest corner of the cold terrace, while everyone else enjoyed themselves inside the ballroom. She knew she couldn't stay there forever, but nothing would make her go back inside a moment before she had to. She would rather freeze to death. The members of the Ton, currently residing in Bath, had gathered for their usual round of matchmaking and flirting, which was all determined by wealth and social status. Amelia no longer had either, being a poor relation dependent on her aunt's goodwill, and consequently they treated her as if she didn't exist. It was infuriating and humiliating all at once, and she was determined to have at least a short respite from playing the wallflower. Lost in thought, she failed to notice that she was no longer alone on the terrace until a disembodied voice echoed across the expanse with some force, startling her.
"I need to marry, and I need to marry at once,"
it declared. Intrigued, Amelia peered through the darkness to see if she could discern the speaker. Two men were standing by the low parapet, lit from behind by the light spilling out of the French doors. She couldn't make out their features, but one was clearly agitated and began to pace back and forth.
"What am I to do? It's impossible, I tell you." "Well, surely, James, it can't be that difficult to find a female to marry at short notice," the calmer man said. "After all, you're a personable fellow, and there was a time when all the young ladies were throwing themselves at you, as I recall." "That was before the scandal."
The one called James continued his pacing.
"You know as well as I do that any female who married me would have to be besotted to the point of madness to put up with all the slights and snubs she would be sure to receive. No one in polite society will so much as have me under their roof. I'm only here tonight because Mrs. Crookshank is my mother's cousin and she took pity on me." Tricky situation. Why the hurry?" "My grandfather is dying. He told me the doctors give him only a few months, maybe half a year at best, and he wants to see me settled and with an heir on the way, if possible, before he goes. The old curmudgeon was the only one to stand by me at the time of the scandal. How can I refuse his dying wish?" "Why not elope with someone? That's the fastest way, surely."
Amelia stifled a gasp. Elopement was a serious step for anyone to take. The two people involved would have to be truly desperate. But how she wished someone would try to elope with her. Anything would be better than spending another night under her aunt's roof.
"No, that requires wooing first, and I haven't the time." "What about the daughter of a city merchant, then? They'll happily overlook anything to have a man of aristocratic lineage in the family." "Not an option. My future wife has to be of a good family. Grandfather insisted on that." "I wondered, you wouldn't happen to know of an indigent but respectable lady who might jump at the chance to marry? A governess or lady's companion, perhaps? Surely someone like that would appreciate having their own establishment, rather than be at the beck and call of an employer. I don't normally come across their kind in the sort of circles I move in, so I'm at my wits' end." "Sorry, but not offhand. Give me a few weeks, and maybe my wife could help me find someone."
A deep sigh reached Amelia's ears. She knew she shouldn't be listening to this conversation, should have declared her presence immediately, in fact. But she found herself riveted, and couldn't have moved if her life depended on it.
"Thank you, but that will probably be too late. Never mind, it was a long shot. I appreciate you listening to my ravings, but now you had better go back into the ballroom and do the pretty to your beloved. I shall stay here for a while, I think. Save Mother's cousin the embarrassment of having to introduce me to anyone else."
Silence descended on the terrace. Although the sounds of a ball in full swing emanated from the open windows, to Amelia it felt as if they came from a different world, one to which she did not belong.